smarter than you can ever imagine. There is no obstacle that you cannot overcome, no problem that you cannot solve, and no goal that you cannot achieve by applying your mind to your situation. Go on and
We on?
Yo, we on? Yo.
Happy Monday, everybody.
Yo, what up, Monday? Happy
Sorry
Monday.
for the delay. We had technical difficulties, a.k.a. a power outage in here this morning. But we here, niggas.
Yeah, we here.
What up?
What up, though?
Happy New Year, Tone.
Happy New Year, Kiki. What's happening?
2022 is getting people up out of here.
2021 was getting people up out of here.
Well, look, my girl did check out at the end of the year. It's not a lie. My girl did check out at the end of the year, but my peoples checked out yesterday.
Oh.
Rest in peace to Sidney Poitier. Rest in peace to...
That wasn't yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
It was the day before.
Bob Saget died yesterday.
Bob Saget died yesterday. They go in threes. They die in threes.
Betty White was one. Betty White was one of them ones. I did not like that. That was our mother Capricorn.
Yeah, I mean, that was the one white lady that you would want as a black lady.
Because
she was all right.
She liked black people.
She was all right. It didn't matter what color you were, what race you were. She just did some really dope shit. You know what I mean? I think she was a really great, talented actor. You know what I mean? And she could be versatile with anybody. You know, I wanted to see her. Make her 100th birthday. You know what I mean? But you know, I didn't. Yeah, didn't happen. So you know, it is what it is. So let's get to certain things at topic at hand. Congratulations to you Cowboys, but you know this is the time of year where you be getting ready to come to the sofa with the rest of us. You know what I mean? I mean, yo, you have to start playing teams and that have winning records. Winning records.
I'm on Facebook.
Help me, Kiki, because I can't
I'm on
find
Facebook.
it. You on Facebook?
Yeah.
We on
Live
Facebook?
is my
Okay.
fucking- Oh, we on both.
We on both? Oh, shit. So no wonder, because I was looking for us.
Yeah,
I
we
thought
on
it was just,
both.
y'all got to download the app. Allegedly download the app.
Allegedly
download the app. Let's
we got 2 more months.
we got 2 more months on Facebook. Okay, so let's get that shit right then. All right. So, you know what I mean? Like I was saying about you Cowboy fans.
Let me let you talk. Go ahead.
Y'all beat up on non-winning teams. You know, and now it's the playoffs time, and I'm gonna give you your props. You made it to the playoffs. Like I said, I've never taken away from a Cowboy team and saying that you're not a good regular season football team. I've said that and said that time and time again on this show that you are a good regular season football team. But when the time counts,
Well, soon as said time comes, I have it queued up. I was going to wait. I told you I have it queued up the day that you said it, and I'm just trying to wait for that thing to happen. So if I never play it, guess what? It never happened.
Okay, it never happened. Okay, so you know, like,
What?
just saying,
Y'all getting a new name in a minute.
I think it's going to be the Commanders. I really don't. I don't like the fucking name, to be honest with you. But I think that's what it's going to be. It's either going to be the Admirals or the Commanders,
I
some
thought
shit
it
like
was
that.
the Cannonballs.
You know what I mean? Whatever it is. I mean, you know, I don't even know how you spin this new name with the same old drama and the same team. So it's not going to matter if you get a new name or not. It's the same regime. It's the same shit that's happening there.
I think that it should be indicative of the people that encompass the name. Like I don't know. I don't see nothing about that commander-ish. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a jab. I don't see.
But I agree with you there, because how could you be Commanders and losers at the same time? Commanders don't lose. Are you the commanding losing team? I mean, like, I'm trying to understand what you thought of when you did that, when you coming up with this name. Because you can't, you know what I mean? What are you going to be, Admirals? Like, yo, you're not going to be the Washington Admirals.
What's that?
You know what I mean? Like,
that's
yo,
a hockey team.
No, Admirals, if you're an Admiral, that has to do with the Navy. So, like, what are these names? What were you thinking about, white man? What's up, man? Come on, help me with
His
this.
name is not white man
today.
today.
It's what's it, powdered cocaine?
Powder cocaine.
Powder cocaine today. Really? Didn't see that one coming, but okay, like, yo.
Yeah, the names are weird. Due to the fact that
There we go. because some of the names that did the quote unquote finalist names, some of the names were used. One of the names, like Brigade, was used for their one of the two AFL teams, Arena League teams that Daniel Snyder owned, and it didn't make any sense. It's like Washington's nowhere near a sea. Let's put it that way. Yeah. You know, those are more related, I would understand, like Baltimore, because they're nearby the Chesapeake Bay, leading out to the Atlantic Ocean. So
dig deeper. I need him to.
Because mind you, they did this whole stupid PR videos and saying how we get to this name, and the last bit was showing the new helmets and the uniforms, and one of the pieces they went they did a rewind to how did we get here type of video, and they showed the fact that one of the names that everyone liked was Red Wolves. Everybody liked that.
But there was a guy that copyrighted that fucking name. And
right, and that's the weird issue is it's like, okay, we do the copyright reasons and all that stuff. It's like, okay, one, there are so many high schools and elementary schools that use the same names, Pop Warners that use the same names as everybody else. It's like, I understand you're trying to market, but you're marketing yourself as a Washington whatevers. So it's like, okay, you have the control of that. Yeah. So what is the problem here?
I don't get it.
It should be if you listen. If you would have asked me, because I think they Doritos or Lay's even did a name my flavor, right? Mm-hmm. I think it should have been either one or two names.
What?
The Washington Chicharrones or the Washington Pork Rinds. Like, I like pork rinds.
The Washington Pork Rinds?
Yes.
Well, they bring back the hogs because everyone said they wanted to be that. Okay, I get that. I get that.
I see where you're going with this. But
Chicharrones.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Where we at with this morning? I mean,
it should have been the Chicharrones. And it should have Obey on them. Like, that's a new take.
There should be an Obey on them.
Yeah, we in this area.
They're not spicy like that, though. The team is not spicy like that.
Y'all ever had?
I can understand.
I need to talk to somebody. You ever had an Obey pork rind? No one.
No, I never heard of them.
I need to.
You can make those happen. You should make those. You should really make those happen. That's a great idea. Because niggas love Obey. Let's be realistic. Niggas want Obey on everything. Yeah. This is what we deal with.
Not
today.
Funny, Kiki.
Scooter knows what it is. I mean, we're going to see what it is, though. I think they said it's February 2nd or whatever the case may be. Is they're going to reveal a new name.
Yep.
Are the colors the same?
It's Tuesday. They did a whole big Tuesday thing.
Are the colors the same?
Huh?
The colors
are the same. Some of the uniforms look really dope. Barbecue. But on the same token is, you're going to name this team something that they can live up to? Let's be realistic here. Yeah. We got the same culture, so you can't name these niggas a name that they can't live up to. But like I said, back to the Dallas.
Come on, we could wind it right back.
I just want to see what's going to happen. I mean, it's for years we've had this conversation, and for the regular season, Dallas Cowboy fans have been on fire talking shit, and then when the playoff comes, you hear crickets. It's always like that. So is it going to be the same thing this year? Yo, speaking of that, Baltimore, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Here's a story. Can I tell you a story real quick?
You tell me the story, man.
Last night, around game time, I just happened to be, I was like, oh no, I got to ask if we're in the studio. Right?
Okay.
So I texted him some eyes.
Okay.
He was like, yes. And I heard that was spicy as shit. Yes. I said, we're in the studio tomorrow. No. Yes. I was like, okay, have a good night.
So you were spicy about it?
Today he just told me, I know what you were doing last night. You were poking back.
All right, here's the actual response.
Okay.
All right, I get the eyes.
Yeah.
I said hello.
Okay.
She says, good evening, spelling G-O-I-D, then corrected herself.
Thank you.
Sir, how art thou? I replied, I'm fine.
Never said, how are you?
Yeah. And then she says, me too, thanks for asking. And then he replied, we back in the studio tomorrow? I said, yes, you are. And said, okay, see you then, thanks. And I just gave her the thumbs up.
So he was trying to read.
That's what it
Because
is.
for real, I was gonna just interject what Mr. Coleman said. Mr. Coleman was like, "Yo, what? Baltimore some bums. I'd be mad as fuck if I had to watch them in the playoffs." Da, da, da. And I was gonna tell him that. I said, "No, I'm gonna wait until the
But
day."
I mean, at the end of the day, is Pittsburgh any better?
Let's talk about that real quick.
I mean, let's be realistic here. Who would you rather see in the playoffs? Would you rather see Pittsburgh or would you rather see B-More? I would prefer to see B-More.
You would get a fight.
Huh?
You would get a fight out, more of a fight out of B-More.
Exactly.
But let me say this, and I told Nomi, Erica Elder, Nomi, I told her last week, I said, Nomi, they finna get this nigga skates. He announced his exodus. They're gonna give him skates.
No, they ain't.
No,
they're not.
bro.
No, they're not. No,
Stop
they're
it.
not. No, they're
Stop
not.
it.
I'm not going to co-sign that. I'm not co-signing that. I'm not co-signing
No.
Nah.
Watch it.
That team is trash.
Do you?
Let's be realistic here. That team is trash. So you're trying to say
That's
they
my
helped him
point.
skate into the playoffs?
Absolutely.
That team is trash.
They want him to. Look, do you record these games ever?
No, I don't record these games. But
No.
Come on now.
I'm making
You
a
got to
point.
look at the team.
I'm sorry.
This
I'm
is
making a
trash.
point.
Okay, make your
making
point,
a
man.
point.
I'm sorry.
I'm making a
Just
point.
like you just like struck this nerve
Okay,
right
I
here.
can just strike it. I can strike it.
Okay.
From as long as I've been watching football, I noticed that when the greats decide they want to leave, and we can go back to Uncle Ray Ray, right? When the greats decide that they want to finish their term and they're done and they announce it very early, I find that some people miss a lot of more tackles. Some other team opponents don't really see you coming, or they might stop running kind of short. I watched that all night yesterday, and I said, "No, they giving him what he need to get up out of here. They cannot let Ben go out on that trash reputation because I love my that's my homie, and Pittsburgh I like them because I was mad at them because they were the first team to get 6, and I was mad like before us or whatever, right? However, they giving him skates, bro, and wings or Red Bull or whatever the fuck. That nigga is getting out of here on pure reputation. The work is not as hard, and you can watch it.
I'm gonna go with white. I want white man to touch on that. I want powder cocaine to touch on that this morning. Powder cocaine. What you did? You heard what she just said.
And
come on now.
Speak from a statistical stand.
Yeah, because that's a statistical guy right there.
Yes.
So come on now. Let's be realistic.
And
Come
you
on,
watch.
give it to me.
You watch.
Yeah, give it to me, bro.
Okay.
Pause.
The moment let's say
Pause.
Yes.
I'm still asleep, Jiggy. I'm still asleep. What the fuck? Let me drink my coffee.
yes, when Big Ben made his
Jesus.
discussion 3 weeks ago.
Pause. No homo.
Yeah. I felt like it's like, yeah, this is another quote unquote last ride moment. And there's a difference between when Ray and the Ravens did it pretty much 10 years ago to what Ben is going to go through. Ben, even after that game, I noticed a lot of the Steelers were getting hurt. I mean, besides TJ Watt, TJ getting his nuts kicked in, but yeah, he doesn't have all his weapons, except for like multiple tight ends, and shout out to Batman, and their defense has always been in question. I mean, to me, they look ferocious. They look like they have some things that they can probably contend, but really it's like I just don't see it unless they for some shot of adrenaline, the Steelers will make this run. I don't see it.
You have to look and see, right? We're gonna go back in hindsight, right? They were in Kansas City.
Yeah, they were Kansas City just several weeks ago.
Yeah, and guess what? Their whole fucking family was there.
Yeah.
Right? And the woman never traveled. Her and all them 2011 kids, they never travel away games. Like they in there with blankets and shit, like doing this for your daddy type thing. Oh my God, this nigga. And so I started to look at that like, oh, they're starting to carve out a lot for him. That whole victory lap was dope. Yeah, I cried.
Nah, you have to make this very realistic because that'll be too. You have too many teams in the playoffs right now.
NFL.
Well, I get it. You got too many teams in the NFL that are way better than the Steelers. Ben doesn't even move the way you could tell. This dude's body is broke up. He can't move. He can barely throw the ball anymore. If you make it so you give him this, Yeah, I'm done with the NFL after that. You
gonna
just
be done
can't-
then?
I'm gonna be done, but I don't see it happening, Kiki.
Why?
I'm being
They're
honest.
not, they're
I don't see
not
it
gonna
happening.
let this guy contributed.
I don't
like,
give a fuck what he contributed. He was also a rapist too. So what the
and
fuck?
that contributed.
Let's
to
let's say
his
this.
greatness.
Here's my fear factor.
Okay.
Because I want to show you guys something. Because this is how the schedule is. So here's how it is.
That's cute.
Pittsburgh has to go through Kansas City and Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
If they luck
Dead
out,
already.
yeah. If they luck out beating Kansas City, they have a shot to beat Tennessee. Because I don't see Tennessee being a legit number 1 team.
Okay.
And then after that, it's really wide open. So to be honest with you, the only team, the real team in the AFC to really beat is Kansas City. And once you've done that, it is a wide open shot.
I don't know about that.
No, because let's be honestly, let's be fully honest. I don't believe Buffalo and New England are two. They look interesting due to the fact that they have young quarterbacks. Their defense has always been, pretty tight. But again, just like Tennessee, I've said, I feels like there's something wrong with their defense. It looks okay on paper, but when sometimes they play, they have these dominant games, and then sometimes they just give up. The only monkey wrench I would give is those last two, the Raiders and the Bengals. Bengals, I feel like they look good because of the Burrows and Chase combination. But again, I question their defense. The Raiders is the true monkey wrench because the Raiders are coming off of a big high.
Yep.
I always feared them, even with or without John Gruden. Mm-hmm. And I feel they were on the come up. So I feel like the Raiders is the only team in the AFC that will really screw everything up. But Steelers to get through, once they beat Kansas City, I think is a straight shot for them.
If they beat Kansas City.
If they beat Kansas
If Kansas City does what the memo states, if Kansas City sits down, lays down, and plays nice.
I doubt that.
This is not the NBA. The NBA does that bullshit.
Yes, thank
because
you.
they want to
Say
stretch
that.
out things.
Thank
This is
you.
a one and done thing, and there's nothing at
Nobody
stake.
is laying down right now.
I think if the incentives and bonuses are correct, they're gonna miss a tackle. I'm trying to tell you, Ben. Okay, let me finish what I was saying earlier.
Go ahead.
So what I was saying,
this is crazy. This is crazy.
And I love that it's crazy.
Okay.
But it's relevant.
Facts.
Okay, so Ben, his contribution to this game, regardless of how many people he, and I don't want to discount whoever he sexually violated, because he lived through that, and boom, right? After coming off of that, he got some championships, he got some Super Bowls, so that pretty much was in the wash, right? And once again, I'm not discounting those who he sexually assaulted. I'm not saying that he didn't say he didn't, but
okay, I got
you understand? I got to say that.
I got that.
So then he moves on, and he's bringing all these bowls in, he's bringing all these rings in, and he's blah blah blah, and he arguably at that time, because they were the first to get 6. He arguably at that time was one of the most top tier. He was amongst the Peyton Mannings, and he was amongst that. His contribution, because he's been at the helm of the same team since he's been there. He's been hurt and gotten back up and came back and performed at a high level performance. And everybody was sucking on Big Ben sausage forever. It wasn't until like the last 2 or 3 years that Ben started to show I'm aging, or I'm slower, or I don't get it, or I'm uninterested, or you got a bitch I can rape somewhere. I don't know. And
wow, not the bitch he can rape somewhere.
I need some incentive. Like it just hasn't been there. And I'm gonna tell you, and he had the best weapons of the weapons. When he had AB and he had Le'Veon, he had they couldn't. So I'm saying that to say I believe that the NFL and the powers that be would not allow him to leave out of here on what he really is, a slow, fat.
So what you're saying essentially is they're going to give him the Super Bowl ring.
Overweight, because I'm fat. I'm not fat shaming.
So what you're saying is they're going to give him the Super Bowl ring. They're going to pass him right through.
They're going to, I think, up until the time. Now, maybe he may not get the ring, but up until the time, he's going to pass. Because right now.
So you're saying he's going to make it to the Super Bowl, essentially.
Yes,
that's what you're saying.
because to me, he shouldn't be here now.
Okay, let's put it this way. Let's get into this magic land. Go ahead. All right, go ahead. Hold on, go ahead.
Because listen, and then don't forget what you're gonna say. Promise. Explain that motherfucking timeout last night when they could have both just went and knocked Pittsburgh out. Explain that if I'm not on to something. Now, unpause. Go ahead with my magical self.
Okay.
Come on, because
So with this scenario you're thinking, here's how the NFL.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
What?
Thank you, Ebony.
Yes. Make sure she's okay.
Fucking fever over there or something, man. Like, yo.
Because that new variant is just really kicking in. Yeah.
And Ebony said she is still a fan.
Deltacron.
So Deltacron, because Silk was watching you, said you coughed twice, so that's why
I told him to mind his business.
She's good.
All right.
Come on.
So if you believe that this is going to be Ben's last ride,
yeah,
and for him to really go all the way out, the possible scenarios, because you got to have a proper opponent for him. So the best proper opponents would be either him going against Aaron Rodgers again, because the Steelers lost to the Packers in Super Bowl 45,
yes,
or him go against Tom Brady. So because he's never done well against him either when he was in New England. So to have these great magical moments for to give Ben his last hurrah, those are what you want, because why? It's good TV. And I think the NFL is like, look, if the NFL is that damn predictable, I will continue to watch WWE for the rest of my life, and they should because that is ridiculous.
I watch it
if
that's the case, fire Roger Goodell,
yes,
right, and hire Vince McMahon.
Yes,
there it is.
Because he already ruined his own product. So why not bring it on the NFL?
This is not funny.
This is your scenario.
Your scenario.
Y'all on some clown shit now.
No,
you set it up.
You did this.
Yo.
Good morning,
This
Bobby.
is the F5 right here, because if you really want Ben to go out big, have him go against these two other cohorts, the two other cohort elite quarterbacks that everyone likes, and they figure it's like, oh, this will be a great matchup.
So why don't you let's add to her story. So let's say they make it to the Super Bowl and they face Dallas.
Pittsburgh and Dallas 4.
And then Dallas loses to Pittsburgh.
That's what's going to be written. I don't give a fuck who it is. It could be Little Rascals. The Little Rascals are losing. It's gonna if Pittsburgh is there. Please explain to me that timeout. Please tell me why they took that timeout last night when they both could have been in and got Pittsburgh the fuck out of there. Explain to me what happened last night. Good TV.
Mind you, one, I was watching Iron Chef Japan, so that's a better show to watch right now. Secondly,
the reason shit that is the NFL.
No, the real thing is the fact that. Because they wanted to win, and the Raiders coach said so. And it's like, yeah, we could have just called it a tie, call it a day, but nah, we wanted to win this shit.
He said that a second later. He said, "I regret calling that time out."
He regrets.
1 second later, he said that.
Okay.
Again, look,
we both win, and then now you. So for okay,
you're not a yeller.
Make this make sense to me, powder cocaine. You get a tie, and y'all both in.
Okay. Then the same question could be said back to me, like a lot of people would say, for the last several weeks when the Ravens were going those 2-point conversions and trying to get the win, because that's it. Your main objective, as Herman Edwards said a long time ago, is try to win the game.
Facts.
Doesn't matter if you ended a tie. I get it. Yeah, both gets into the playoffs. We knock out the Steelers and we call it a day. But really, it's like we want to beat your ass.
No. Listen, we're gonna play you again. So beat me then. But right now we're in here. We got 4 seconds. We got 4 seconds to make a decision.
So take a knee. So mind you, this is why.
Did you see what's his name? Did you see Herbert's face last night? Did you see their teammates' face last night? That definitely was a call that you could liken to what the fuck Pete Carroll did when he decided not to give Marshawn Lynch that ball. That's the same fucking call to me. You are ridiculous.
But you're on the other side. So really, it's like look. Either A, just like our team did during the overtime. It's like either stop that team. Yes, I'm a yeller because this is ridiculous and needs to be heard.
Thank you.
So the point is like, look, all the Ravens had to do was stop that team. Just stop them. Chargers didn't do it. Our Ravens didn't stop the Steelers during the overtime. So it's like, look, if you can't stop them, it's like, look, they're not going to take a knee unless it's like way out in no man's land that they can't kick a field goal. But they were in field goal range Let's do it. If we make it, great. We win. We're in the playoffs. If we don't, we're tied. Both teams go in, call it a day. The whole point of this is you win, try to win the game. That's it. And it doesn't matter. It's like, oh, let's help the Chargers out. Fuck that. Those two have been rivals since 1960. And you think they give a shit? And especially the Raiders.
If you do know what's coming ahead of you, because if you play Pittsburgh, they're going to let them win anyway.
No, they're not.
They are.
No, they're not. You don't. Again, unless it's in your world.
Let's just see. Let's agree to disagree. Let's just see what happens when they play Kansas.
Here go Mr. Coleman. The coach already said they was going to take a knee till the timeout was called.
So here's what it is. Powder Cocaine, me and you are on the same page. We think Kiki is delusional this morning. I don't know what she's got in that fucking cup. I don't know what the fuck it is. What she had before she got here. That's some fucking potent water. But we're gonna let her have it, and then we'll reconvene on this after they play Kansas City, and we'll see what happens.
Ebony said that I guess we will see.
We will. We just gotta wait and see. Now, did you see this madness? The madness that happened in, what was it, Rio? With a fucking rock. In Brazil, with a fucking rock, like, it just fell off. And
10 people died.
I thought it was like 15.
10 people, crazy, and 32 people are still missing.
God, that's just crazy.
Yeah,
but
30
it's
people got
crazy
out.
that, when you see a rock, it just broke off and just fell.
And ain't nothing you can do. Like,
there was
people,
nothing.
and they was in boats, like, and some people was like drinking with their back turned, like never knew this.
Nigga, those are the people that are probably dead. I mean, it's sad to say. It's just fucking, that was crazy, man.
And rest in peace to those people.
Before we go any further, I definitely want to give a shout out to Maddie, Laura Aziza.
Yeah, LaRue.
Maddie LaRue. Our deepest condolences to you and your family. She lost her mom. I can only imagine what she is going through right now. So if y'all get a chance, man, stop through and hit her up and, just show her some love. She needs some love right now. You just got to uplift her in prayer and show her some love, man. Real talk. Now.
And we want to send, on the second side, happy birthday to Cinnabon, who was Lynette, author.
Happy
birthday,
Lynette. Cinnabon.
Happy birthday. She's a Capricorn.
Birthday.
She's a Capricorn.
Oh, God, here we go.
I, too, am a Capricorn. And I have 4 days.
I know this.
I have 4 days for my birthday. And I want to tell y'all what I wore today.
Y'all sorry asses brought all this fucking snow with y'all.
What I wore
that shit back to
today.
wherever y'all came from.
You see my ball?
I see it.
It is so big.
It is.
I got 3 of them. I'm gonna wear these every
You got
chance
3
I fucking
balls?
get. Yes, I do. I'm an anomaly. You jealous?
Yeah.
You jealous?
I ain't jealous. You got some big balls. That's all I can say. You got some big balls.
Before we move on from NFL.
This dick.
Before we move on from NFL, because you did not allow me to speak on my team, I would like to speak. Please.
What's there to
Now,
speak about?
you're right. What's there to speak about? I did not jump on any. No one can find on any social site where I was doing a bunch of dancing and corralling in the street and a whole bunch of clowning and shit behind this last one, right? Because I knew we was playing what you call this B team. I do understand that. However, somebody asked me like, how you feel about that y'all didn't rest nobody. Like, I feel like I understood both sides of the coin. I understood why Eagles rested their people, and I understood why we did not. Like, to me, Dallas is very temperamental. If they lose, they just when they win, they doing some other shit. And either way, they're not consistent. So I just want to take all I can get.
So let me say this: the last couple
They're
of games when y'all beat up on bullshit teams or bullshit like bad football teams, why people get so hype about that?
A win is a win, and he just said.
I agree with you, but they're a bad football team. You're beating up on teams that do not have a winning record, and y'all are praising this shit. But against winning, we're gonna find about now.
We're gonna find out.
This is a time of year where the Cowboy fans get quiet.
Let's be clear, because even though I know what he's gonna say behind this, and I don't care. I'm gonna allow you the room to say it. I'm gonna roll the carpet out for you to say it. Right. We swept our division, and that's one of the things that we're happy about too. Even though, go ahead, powder cocaine.
But you you swept a bad division. Nobody there has a winning record. So you're proud of beating on teams that are beneath y'all? Come on, man.
Okay.
You can't get props for that.
So-
you know what I mean? Now, go into a division where everybody has a winning record and sweep them, man, I'm going to take my hat off to you.
Okay, take your hat off because
I
we
can't
don't
take the hat
know. We
off
don't-
to that.
what did Dak say? Line them up. He said line them up, and we're going to take whoever we're going to take.
Very arrogant. It's
not
arrogant
even
to say
arrogant. It's not
when you're
arrogant.
beating on bullshit teams, but teams with a fucking winning record, are y'all doing the same
It's
too?
not arrogant. It is.
It is arrogant.
It's trying to build. It's confidence.
So that's not arrogance?
No, confidence and arrogance.
Help me out here. Is that not arrogance? I mean, somebody here. Maybe
No,
it's me.
I confidently.
When was the last time Dallas with
Shut
Dak
up.
Prescott
Shut
as the?
up.
No, I need a proper answer. When was the last time Dak Prescott led team won a playoff game?
It's been some.
Yes.
It's been about 3 years.
Right.
About 3 years.
Okay. So I'll give you this. Again, let's go back to the map.
Oh my God.
So let's see where
Let's see the
how
map.
let's see the map. So here's Dallas's
Oh,
chance.
Fourth time I've coughed
Yeah,
today.
okay. So you got to deal with the Niners.
Yes, first.
Now the Niners are a little finicky.
Yeah,
It depends on who you get.
Who
We
you
can get
get.
them. We can get them.
Now, you say that. After that, you have the possibility to face either the Cardinals and Rams
Again.
Or Arizona.
or the Bucks.
No, not the Bucks.
No. Yeah, they
It would
do.
either be-
Either be here's because the Cowboys are they're the fourth place divisional winners.
Okay.
They face the.
Either
Actually,
the
no.
winner
I'm going
from-
to crack
from
that.
the Rams-
They have to go to Green Bay because because technically if they win, Bucks win. Bucks get to host the Cardinals and Rams. Cowboys have to go to Green Bay.
Ooh.
So
I don't know
now
about
here
that one.
now here again, just
Oh,
like Pittsburgh.
Sydney.
Here's again, just like Pittsburgh.
Thank you,
If
Sydney.
Dallas gets through San Francisco,
Which we will.
if they get through Green Bay,
Sydney.
I will give you a shot. The only team you have to deal with is probably the only team I think who I feel will be pretty much again going back there is Tampa.
Yeah. And we owe
So
them something. We owe them something. And I don't care. Like I listen, my daddy always said, every now and again the sun shines on the dog's ass.
Yeah, but it never shines on your asses.
And every once
Every once every 25 years or so.
Okay, look, listen,
I'm just
Admiral.
saying.
Listen, Commander.
I'm just saying. You're not gonna get past Green Bay.
Okay, and number
I don't see it
two,
happening.
let me go here real quick.
That's a
because I'm a
dominant
little
team, too.
mad. I'm a little mad with Detroit too. I'm a little mad with
Why?
Detroit.
Why?
Because I felt like you should have took the lost that game. You proved that Aaron Rodgers was out the game, and I know they have a rivalry. I'm not a yeller. I know they have a rivalry going, right?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers was out the game. Y'all was winning. All you gotta do was like win up until and then like fall off. Because guess what? You need a quarterback.
So you're saying they should have laid down and just said,
Played the
"Fuck it,
fucking game.
let
'Cause for what?
Green Bay win,
You
so
gonna-
you can get a better position in the draft
You're gonna
draft
get,
process."
yes, you're gonna get one more W, and you're gonna celebrate for 1 week. And then when draft pick time come, you're gonna be in the shitter again. Like and Detroit. Look,
okay,
I'm from there, bro.
let's really be honest.
You was happy with that decision that they chose?
Jacksonville's not gonna pick another quarterback because they already got their quarterback.
That's right.
So Detroit, they're in the proper. They're in the top. They're just number 2, so they're gonna kick a quarterback
Are they number
regardless.
two?
Yeah, they're number
They're
2.
number 2.
So you're gonna
So
get
what's
a quarterback.
Jacksonville gonna do?
And how the fuck did Jacksonville beat the coach yesterday?
Because the Colts are so.
Because Carson Wentz is overrated.
He threw so many errors. Yo,
It's Carson Wentz.
That shit
What?
fits.
Yo,
Yo,
he's
fuck
not
that.
the dude everybody. He had the breakout season.
do you really? Are you saying that for real?
He had a breakout
He
season.
had a breakout
when
season.
He first came out because
Right.
nobody had tape on him and nobody knew anything. Normally, when you have a quarterback they don't know about nothing about, he has a great season. It's the ones after that. And he didn't. He hasn't been that
He's
man
been
since-
injured. He broke
Thank you.
both his ankles during this season, and for some odd reason, it's like, okay, you're going to rely on him. Okay, fine, I get. Literally,
Not the man.
kid you not, when he got put on the COVID list, the coach Rick, it's kind of funny. They contacted Phillip Rivers. Literally, contact and say, dude, can you come back for just a week?
Not Phillip Rivers.
Yes.
Yo, so that says a whole lot about your quarterback
They should have called Brett Favre.
Indianapolis.
They should have called Brett Favre. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, at this point, Carson Wentz is not the man. So I can
You
see
think
it
he's
happening.
overrated? Are you really saying that?
I say he's
Are you saying
overrated.
that
Nick
as well?
Foles won the Super Bowl, not Carson Wentz.
Facts. And you'd have been better off bringing Nick Foles in the fold, because at least when you put him under this pressure like that, he can win a football game for you. So I mean, at the end of the day, Jacksonville gets #1 pick. You know what I mean? Is it gonna matter? Even if y'all pick a quarterback, do you really think that's gonna help your Detroit Lions?
No, because I hope that that would be like the last or the top that creates the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like I hope so, because they just terrible.
What Detroit needs-
They fight though.
What Detroit needs, honestly,
A new
is
GM.
no. Well, besides that,
So does the Commanders or the Admirals.
they would really need, I think, to help them out. I think is another top-notch receiver. You know, somewhere around Megatron status, maybe. But I
it's gonna be hard to find that
I really, to be fully honest with you, I really think the NFL draft is the most overrated thing and overhyped thing.
Facts.
And most of these guys, they're coming in are between juniors right now. I mean, because they keep coming out early, and I just feels like you overhype them too much.
And I think that's a problem right there. You let
Yeah.
them come out too early, man. Make them earn their stuff, because they come out and they're bust, and after a season or two, they're gone.
That's why I'm glad the USFL is coming in a couple months. I'm glad the XFL will come back for a third time next year, because I really think that to really get into a true professional level, and especially because mostly everyone expects like these rookies to be all these top-notch things. I don't see that. I really think it's like, look, I really think the NFL need minor leagues, and I think this and USFL and the XFL will help that.
Thank you. I agree with that 1,000%. 1,000%. You know what I mean? How many of these rookies have you seen come out and been complete busts?
So speaking of bus, is Heineke y'all savior?
No.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
No, he's not. He's not.
You wouldn't
I've
hang your
said
hat.
this.
You wouldn't hang your hat on him.
No.
What about
He's
Leftwich
a decent backup. I gotta give you that much. He's
Who
a
should
backup.
be y'all front?
We don't have one right now.
Okay.
We don't have one. And going into the offseason, that is something you need to address. We have the money.
Russell Wilson.
We have the money. I don't know if that is the answer. I don't think that's the answer.
Okay. Russell Wilson doesn't want to come here. He stated that.
Did he say that?
He said that. Aaron Rodgers said he's, depending on his situation in Green Bay, he's not affordable to come here.
Especially after what he does this year.
Right. So, honestly, sadly, Deshaun Watson just mentioned he doesn't want to come here.
And if he can say that.
So, sadly enough, either you find yourself some low-rated starting quarterback, because that's what Washington is. And again, is the sad thing is, like, Ron Rivera is not a developer. He's never been. And it's kind of unfortunate the fact that it's like, you gave him a Hopkins because of the fact you didn't want to train him. You didn't want him to be the quarterback. You want some starter or whatever. And that's the unfortunate thing here is like if you can't develop anybody, what makes you to be a proven quarterback or a proven coach for that matter? So and everyone was crying, it's like, why didn't we get Cam Newton? Example A. Let's go to the 0-5 record. Yes, that he did.
We don't want him.
Yeah,
and I agree with you there when you say that. Yeah. He's not going to develop a quarterback. It's just not going to happen. You should have kept Haskins and not started him. You know what I mean? But you don't have a winning culture here. You know what I mean? And it doesn't look like one in sight. So why would you want a top-rated quarterback to come here when you're proving that you can't win? So it doesn't matter how much money. We have a lot of money to spend this year.
You got a lot of money.
We have a lot of money to spend this year, but you have quarterbacks that don't want to come here. They don't want to come here.
That's sad.
You know what I mean?
A
So
lot of
I
money in
mean,
this
you're gonna take less money to go somewhere else where you have. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. That's what it is, and we're just gonna be circling around the drain repeatedly, and it's not gonna change. It's not gonna change.
Well, thank God for an 18th week. We it brought us through our 2-week hiatus.
Yeah.
I got a question though. The
What up, though?
motherfucking tree still up?
Nah, I took that shit down the day after fucking New Year's.
Mine is.
The fuck wrong with y'all? I'm not understanding this shit because, like, yo, my neighbors, they still got their lights up and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Christmas is over. New Year's is over. Take that shit down. Put it away. Let's move on.
I got a bad rap from, we got these solar deck lights, right, on the deck. It's like they solar. They from the sun and da-da-da. They been there. But because it's Christmas, it looked like it's Christmas lights. It's like, oh, well, y'all gonna take those down? No, they were up all summer. Like at night, they come.
Nah, don't try to evade the fucking shit that you'd have your fucking Christmas tree still up.
Christmas tree is still up.
So, you know, here's what my bad thing. About less than a week before Christmas, I put a Christmas tree up. That bitch barely stayed up there 2 weeks, if that. It stayed up there for Christmas. And then the week after, I said, okay, it'll stay there, it'll stay there, it'll stay there. I'm going to wait. And January 2nd, that bitch came down. Packed up, put away, that's it. Done.
At least
done.
my birthday. It just has to. It has
no,
to.
Christmas is over. You're
I'm
almost a
out
mother.
this month. I'm going to get underneath that anyway.
Later for that, though.
though.
I caught it. She heard say she gonna get butt naked underneath the tree. Somebody come on wrap her. Damn it, here we go.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
I'm about to bust.
So what you will see as you're looking on here is 2 weeks worth of my.
Yeah, I see. It's a lot of built up.
It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff on here. So you can pick. You can go on here and you can pick.
So yeah, I saw Megan Good is getting divorced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you wonder why they're getting divorced?
Because you just a bad bitch and it's over. Like the fantasy.
Have you watched her show Harlem? Have you watched her TV show Harlem?
Yeah.
On Amazon.
I saw the first episode.
When she started dating dude and was going out with old boy and he flipped his legs up in the air, he was just licking him ass. Her husband was like, yo, if you gonna do that, I'm done. Yo, you casting sin.
I think the same thing I think like about Halle Berry. Like Halle Berry is beautiful aesthetically. She probably is perfect. And she's 50-something years old, got the body of a 20-year-old. Like Shawty is banging. And Megan Good is that way too. But I think once the man gets over the fantasy, and then the person shows
behind
up.
That's what it is.
The person shows up.
You're an ugly motherfucker on the inside. That's just what it is. You're bad on the outside, but you're just an ugly person, and the people eventually get tired of the drink. You know what I mean?
I have a theory of why they got divorced.
Okay.
Because they've been together for at least over 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's 40, and I really think it got to the point about kids.
Because she don't want none.
Yeah.
As of right now, no.
Right.
So
I think
because I figured like for him, I mean, he probably wanted a family, blah blah blah, and all that stuff, and him being a pastor and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
So I really think it went around kids and Megan. I mean, she's right now. She has her show. She's working on Shazam 2. And things
working.
She's working, and she's mind you, and especially when you're in doing top notch things with Amazon and all that stuff.
It's hard for a black actress to keep having that happen because, as we've heard, black actresses in the past say that they've been pigeonholed or stereotyped, and they get set into some role, and then that type of person phases out. They don't work anymore.
Right.
So for her to, I get it.
Yeah, because I've followed Megan's career for a very long time, from Eve's Bayou to where it is now.
Uncle Skeeter.
Yeah, and
Cousin Skeeter.
Yeah, the thing is like, mind you, during those like late 80s to early to the 90s and the early 2000s, she was just known as the hot girlfriend. That was it.
That was her role.
That was her role. And I felt like, mind you, hey, it's work. It was what it was. And it's like, that's great. But the thing is like, can we see her out of that? And
but that ties into what Kiki was just saying, that you get stereotyped, you get cast typed, and this is what you are. Yeah. And normally when the times change and they move on, there's no need for you no more. They don't see you with nothing else.
That's why I saw, that's why I was hoping for it, because some of these shows that she was doing after, I think the last quote unquote girlfriend role she did was the one when she was being a quote unquote Bonnie and Clyde thing with Tyrese. I think that was the last thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was silly. But she ended up doing, being sort of like a detective on, this Minority Report, the series. She, sadly.
Yeah.
Then she did another thing, was a kind of a mystery thing, which I was really into, and I thought it would do well, but that failed.
And
Hopefully
the other
Harlem
thing-
will work.
The other thing too, where
I like
it was
Harlem.
a bunch
Yeah.
of girls and they were going on these days trying to figure out what's the best way. I can't think of the name of it. It's it was a Lifetime movie, I think, where she and
It's just a Lifetime movie.
a couple.
You're looking for the longevity, like she had.
No, but I'm saying like, and people go far. Look at Vivica Fox is killing Lifetime. Vivica Fox
Because that's all
runs-
she, mind you, she's a producer too, so she produced most of that
She
stuff.
does, but I'm saying that there was one movie that it was kind of Tyler Perry esque, and it might even been Tyler Perry movie. I'm not because it was.
I'm so sick of his movies.
That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry,
him.
never mind. Next,
You know what I mean?
But like I said, I agree with the fact. I hope Megan, look,
Finds
she's
what she's
available.
looking for.
Hey, give me a call.
And I agree with
and
you.
once you pop a kid out, like that whole girlfriend, that whole bad chick body is gone. Like you can work to get it back, but-
do you watch what is this the Queens? Have any of y'all
Yeah.
checked out that joint?
Yeah.
Not
Queens?
yet. Yeah.
I've been watching it from the beginning just to see it. And at first I was like a little bit depressed because I was like, yo, y'all, you got beautiful black women
Even
up
all
there
them on there?
calling themselves nasty bitches.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit mad behind that because I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, why are y'all letting that happen? But
Right.
as I watch the show more and more, Eve is pregnant.
Yeah.
She is pregnant in real life. So they
Yeah.
they kind of like, I don't want to, if you haven't seen it, I don't want to expose it for you, but the roles that they're playing in there, I get that. You know what I mean? It's more, I get it. I don't want to, check out Queens, it's okay, it's a good show.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's still grasping at it. You know what I mean? But Megan Good is going to be,
she bad. Like
she's
not
bad.
gonna-
I mean, Megan, like you said, you get her up, you know what I mean? Megan,
She
if
can
you
suck
just,
my dick.
if you
I
just
mean-
want to fuck with no strings attached, I mean, I'm okay
No,
with
that's
that.
Kim Kardashian. That's a whole different spot.
Oh my God! Like yo, so I mean, here's my question about her. Here's a question about her. Is it that she searched? What do you see in Pete Davidson? And he's fucking. Yo, fellas, if you're a fucked up motherfucker, you can shoot your shot at the baddest chick in the room. She's gonna feel sorry for you eventually.
No, I don't think that.
What is it?
I think you have had everything else. I think you've had everything else, and everything else didn't appeal to you. And that nigga probably was the only one in the room who was like, "Look, hey, whatever, she here, whatever." And she probably was like, "Cause we do that. The person who ain't paying you no attention, that's the one you checking for."
I had this conversation with my sister over the weekend and this was brought
Probably
up.
pour champagne on her and everything.
Yeah,
bitch.
and really, it's like, because we question that. It's like he ended up getting Ariana Grande, almost married her.
Almost right.
And now, he had some other hot chicks here and there, and now got Kim Kardashian.
So is it fair to say cornballs are winning?
You can.
You
can.
cornball can win. He can be a cornball, but he got to give the
And he
gas.
probably hung. And he probably hung.
He's doing something.
You gotta
He's
have.
doing
If you're gonna
something.
be a cornball,
Well,
dick
well,
got to
at the
be.
end of the day,
You gotta
look who
be
she
well
was married
endowed.
to. Let's first off, look who she was married
Shut
to.
up.
She was married to the Cuckoo Cocoa Puffs. She was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
She made him that way.
You know what I mean?
So
But here's the other
whole
thing.
family like
But
that.
here's the other flip side.
Yeah.
Have you noticed a lot of these quote unquote pictures that have been posting out from both sides? Mm-hmm. Okay, to me
Yeah.
this is like a tit for tat.
Yeah, stop.
And I always kind of question the fact it's like, look, no way in the world you, for Kanye's sake, making out with your new girl wide open in public and people are taking pictures of it.
knows
We know
what he's
that's
doing.
staged.
You know what you're doing.
So it's like, dude, either A, man up and just, either just
Tuck
admit
your
the fact
tail.
that you miss her and try to deal with your shit, or the fact is like, or move on and do what you
Listen
need
to
to
what you
do.
just said, and then think about the person you're talking about.
I understand that.
It's never gonna
I know.
the
That's
girl
the thing.
even came out and she said this was so weird. Fox, what her name? Something
Yeah,
Fox.
Julia Fox.
And she said he staged like a whole photo shoot, like
Right.
that whole time. He dressed her in the clothes that he want, and if
Yeah.
you look at the clothes, it's an eerily.
Was it from The
similar-
Gap?
It's a
That
similar.
nigga's fucking crazy. He
I'll
needs
fuck with him.
help.
I'll
He
fuck with
needs to
him.
be committed. I mean,
fuck
that's
with
just
him.
what it is.
I fuck with him. You could. I
See,
fuck with
he
him.
knows where he
You
got
would
this
do-
from.
You would do the whole photo op with him and everything like that?
Yeah, just-
You
yeah.
give him some? You give Kanye some?
I got to see what he's working with. Kanye probably got a small dick though, because he got a lot of money. Like most of
So
them
what? He got a lot of money.
No, Jay-Z probably don't. Anyway. Anyway.
Oh, nah, fuck it. Let's not. Yo, that was a whole big thing. We're not even going to touch that shit.
Jay-Z hung like a yo.
Fuck, he's a camel.
He's
He
a
looks like
camel.
Joe Camel. Like,
Come
what the fuck? Bro? Let's be
on.
realistic here.
Come, I can name you some people. Like I think Big Sean. I think Big Sean. He's little. I think Big Sean got something going on. Jay-Z, Big
This
Sean.
dick. That's what it is. That's what it is.
I'll be checking. I don't think Kanye though. Kanye doesn't have enough confidence. Like he's arrogant because of the money and because of his position and his
There's a difference.
His
You have to know
success
the
and
difference
everything.
between
He's arrogant
arrogance
because
and
of that.
confidence. They're not the same.
Oh really?
They're not the same.
You just motherfucker just
They're not the same. They're not the same. What?
give me just
What? What?
yes or no.
What?
A few moments later.
Right.
We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. You know what I mean?
Anywho.
Anywho, so you know the Ahmaud Arbery killers.
Yeah.
They gave him life.
Yes.
They gave him life. You know what I mean? What are y'all opinions on that? Because my opinion is pretty distinct on this.
I think that the proper decision was made. I want to know, are we winning now? Like, have we arrived? Have we?
No. I mean, what else you want me to say? No. No,
You gotta
I mean,
explain why
it was
you don't
warranted.
think so.
It was warranted because how many? Okay, so how many people have killed us and got slapped on the wrist? Don't do that again.
Yes.
And you look at some of these people, and these are blatant murders. Blatant murders. Oh, you're gonna get 9 years. You're gonna get 10 years. And you're gonna go over here, and then you're gonna get out. You're gonna live your life. No, at some point in time, you had to make an exclamation point. You know what I mean? You had to make an exclamation point. Does that mean that our time is here and we're going to start getting justice the way? No, fuck no. And if you believe that, come on, Slim, get out the clouds. Get out the clouds. Get out the clouds. They you know what I mean?
It's coming more often though. Like people are getting the justice that they deserve more often.
Is this fair to say that this is if y'all kill some more, if you kill more of these colored folks, the chances are you're going to get life in prison. Do you know what I mean? Is that a message to be sent? That's probably a message to be sent. But I would not get hype about that and think that that's going to be pertained to everybody. It's just not going to happen.
The lady that killed that boy, I can't read it. It's in here somewhere. I don't. The one lady who stopped the guy, she got life too, and didn't think that she was going to. She thought I can't think of shit. I ain't got no glasses on. It's in here somewhere. Huh?
It wasn't the police officer. She didn't get life.
The police officer. She got 40 years. She got 40 years.
Okay, and so in other words, is they're handing out more time.
That's what I'm saying. So can we get comfortable?
Is that an incentive for them not to kill us? No, I don't think so.
Can we feel rest assured somewhere that
Don't. And I'm being honest, it don't.
I think that rock that fell in Brazil gonna get more time.
I think, like T. Woods just said, they just didn't want to burn the state. They don't want because of these light sentences given out. People are going to start to riot again, and they're going to start burning shit down and destroying shit because you're showing them get away. So eventually, you had to make an example out of somebody. Somebody needed to be making an example out of him. Why not these good old boys?
Well,
But Batman said, Batman said nothing changes. Every once in a while, white supremacists have to check their own.
Thank you, Batman. Thank you.
But
Like
I really think that this case alone, I felt like was a precedent because honestly, it was like they pretty much admitted it during their whole trial.
Yeah.
You know, it was a slam dunk, and if no one caught that, then I would agree to the fact of everybody rioting and causing like, are you freaking blind? This is ridiculous. So, I mean, I think now it's in a way I would say it's a start, it's a beginning or a new beginning of this situation. But then again, it's all trials are different. Yeah. All trials, are different because based off of what evidence was there, what evidence is not there, how it was preceded, and things of that nature. So we'll see from here on out. But I think this is a win for everybody because it's like if mind you, the one prior, everyone was upset with that one decision because the Rittenhouse one because it's like, dude.
That's the one you should have made an example of.
Yeah, he should have.
That's the one that should have been made an example of, period.
Yeah, but him crying and whining on the stand, and the next thing he's like, hey, what's going on? Afterwards, it was
that was disgusting.
Yeah, it was arrogant, disgusting. And then a few weeks after, he's at a GOP rally type of thing, and everyone was chanting his name. And he got his 15 minutes. That's it.
The judge sucked him off. And anywho,
so with dealing with that, is it fair that they had to make an example? Like Batman said, they had to make an example of somebody, and that's what they did.
Well, it's not his example. It's like I said, the evidence was there. They admitted it. The evidence was there. But again, like I said, if for some odd reason, if they didn't see any of this and they would let those guys off, then you have to highly question everything.
Exactly.
And we've had examples of that already.
Batman said, these things are done to rock us back to sleep and think that it's okay. Like you said, are we here? We're done. Okay, yeah, we're going to get justice and we're not thinking about it no more. These things are like that, and I agree with him. I think that's 100% correct.
So, Batman, how do they choose? Like, is it
choose?
No. My question is, how do they choose which people to try? Like, and to lose? Like, is it every 4 people? Is it every 4 murders?
It's just a random thing.
A shot in the head and a stab in the back? Like, I'm trying to understand
if
the criteria.
But if you're basing everything off of what we see and what is presented to us through the media, because mind you,
can't go by that.
But again, that's how it is now.
Yeah.
Because you're basing off as okay, here's the trial of the week, or and things like that, because you want some kind of clarification on, well, okay, is this how we're going to be now? And I think this is your back signal.
Hello, caller.
Oh, I think this is your back signal.
Okay.
I gotta love powder cocaine.
I gotta love him. Hold on, y'all. I gotta go take a leak.
Yes, powder cocaine is his name today. Good morning, sir.
I'll be right back. I gotta pee.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
What up? Talk to me. Happy New Year to you too.
Happy New Year, guys. So white supremacy is like a fine-tuned mafia drug organization. Anytime you're working for that organization and you get a little too loud, they gotta put you out there so that the people at large can feel as though there's an interest being taken in our causes, so they can put us back to sleep. White supremacy's main goal, because they got us working for them. They got us niggas where they want us. And it's very refined now. They're doing it with such smoothness that if white people start making a lot of noise, it's going to slow that business down. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. And could you describe noise for those who may be lost?
Noise is killing someone for jogging down the street.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be a race soldier for white supremacists, you shoot a man wild because he's reaching for his gun permit, like Philando Castile.
Right.
It's a little controversial, but we can get him off of that.
Yeah, because there's
an argument that he was afraid, so we can get him off of that. But stuff that's obvious, like killing a man because he's jogging, and he went to look at a house that was just a frame that was being built, like many people do. I've done it. That's a little too loud, and it's bringing too much attention. It's going to make these niggas start to wake up a little bit more, and we don't need that. That's bad for business.
Mm-hmm.
So give them redneck life. Get a white girl life. Give a couple of them life right now. Let's put this loud, killing black people stuff back to sleep so we can rock their niggas back to sleep and we can get on with our business.
I have a question.
That's white supremacy 101.
So in white supremacy 101, and this is probably a dumb question, but entertain me. If I put these people to sleep, if I let these white people rot in jail, do I take care of them still, or is it your charge is your charge and your case is your face is your case? You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you take that L for us, or if white people hang you out to dry and let you do they take care of you? Do they put money on your books?
No. Well, they definitely get money on their books. Yeah, they white. They family gonna take care of them on that tip. But
Okay.
Once white supremacists put you out there, they don't care about you no more.
Okay.
So you messing up
Okay.
business for us.
Okay.
We don't have no love for you like that no more.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Trey said yes, depending on their rank. Because
But as far as their family and stuff, you know they probably already got 100,000 on their books. Because white people stick together.
Facts.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So they probably already got money on their books before they even get to the prison. Some white folk probably already got GoFundMe pages up and all that kind of stuff already. That's what they do that we don't do.
Look, thriving GoFundMe's because
You
people
ain't
be
never lied.
thriving.
Yeah, you ain't never lied because if you ever notice more African Americans in jail, they're not set up like that. They don't live the same way as the Caucasians do. You know what I mean? And their family don't come through like that. Just like you said, I've seen it firsthand. That Caucasians, their family, even if this person's a supreme fuck up and whatever the case may be, the family comes through and makes sure they don't want for nothing. They don't need for nothing when they're in there. They just there to just chilling. You know what I mean? He's right.
And look, on a quick note, real quick, right? Them kids just died in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at the GoFundMe page, and they raised like $15,000.
Mm-hmm.
And over like I think they said like 30 people died or something like that in
Yeah.
Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If that was white folk, man, they probably had about $2-3 million. In that
Yes, they
GoFundMe
would.
Right now,
Yes, they would.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I got back there now.
Thank you.
Batman.
Question.
What's up?
Because that was heavy. That was heavy for me.
Yeah. That piss was heavy for me too. But later for that though.
What's in your cup?
You know what I mean? That was nigga, I just had to pee like shit, man. It's the medication, man. It's making me pee.
Ramona, hello. She said, and let's not even talk about the countless black women murdered by the police that aren't even mentioned in the media. India Kager, is that Kager?
Tanisha Anderson, Deborah Danner, Michelle
Crusoe,
Kayla Moore. Man, and what about
Corinne Gaines, and what about okay, I ain't got no glasses on.
And she said they were killed while playing. One of these females were killed while playing video games with
a
her
nephew. Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are things that she gets swept under the rug. You know this, Ramona. You know this. They can sweep it under the rug. All right. I
Question.
don't know. What's up?
This was supposed to be the topic.
What up, though? What up? Come on with it.
Is it wrong?
Topic time?
Topic time. I know we're kind of late because of the outage. Sorry, y'all, but we're gonna try to fit it in real quickly. Is it wrong for your parents to request payment for watching their grandkids? Because I had a whole situation. Yeah, I had a whole situation where a baby. I guess the child wanted the grandmother to watch the baby, and she was like, "Yeah, pay me." Pay me like you would pay someone else. And the girl had like a whole thing. It was a whole Facebook post she put calling her mama all her name and blah blah blah, and she was mad. So I was asking like, yo, let me see, because I'm split on that.
That's and it's like I can see both sides. Because if I wasn't, let's say your family member didn't live close to you, you know what I mean, you would have to essentially pay a babysitter. You know what I mean? But on the same token, it's family. So why not, that's your grandkid. Why I got to pay you to watch it and spend time with your grandkid, though? You know?
B-side.
What's up?
I could be doing other shit. Like
I see that. You're right.
I've raised mine. Like, and this is not my opinion, so please don't come for me. No, you can come for me. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I've raised mine, and I'm not doing this so that I could do this for you.
Pause. Wait a minute. I can speak on that. My own motherfucking mother's like that. You know what I mean? My own mother's like that. She won't, man, listen. My own mama ain't watching her grandbabies. Never did. Will not do it. You know what I'm saying? Except for one, but that's a whole nother ballgame. But even it got to a certain point then, my whole mother, you know what I mean? Catherine Beach, calling out names, name dropping. Okay. She will not.
You call your mama name out?
She will not watch her grand. Never did. She will not. And I swear for God, I'm not kidding. But so I can understand this. I can see parents. Then their attitude is, yo, I raised mine. I did my job. That's your responsibility. You know what I mean? So, as a kid growing up, my mother always looked at us and said, when she found out, you know what I mean? When my mother found out, call in. Just call in. You know, my mother was the first thing she found out when she found out I was fucking. She was like, just, you know what I mean? No, I'm happy my son's not gay. Don't bring no babies in here. I ain't raising no babies.
She said that and she meant it.
She meant that shit. She meant that shit. So you know what I mean. Even so, when I was a grown ass man and I had a child, and subsequently, me and my sister had our kids about the same time, about a month or two apart from each other, and she's not babysitting.
So is it? So if say if she did, because okay, let me start from scratch.
Okay,
back here. Let's be clear that because people are mothers, that doesn't make them mothers.
Okay.
You might have all these kids, you might have raised them, for real, but you did it. You did it because you had to, and it was hard, and it was like you would never do it again. And now here come your children, and you don't have that in you. You had it because they was yours. It's like, yeah, that's my grandkid. I'm just giving another side to look at this. So this ain't all. This ain't me.
I see what you're saying.
Because I love my grandson. It's like now I've created a life where I'm not doing nothing else, and you will get them people that money. Give it to me.
And I can see that point. And if you, since you explain like that, I can see that point of saying, hey, you're going to pay these white people, you're going to pay these other people to babysit. I need the money too, because like I could be living my own life. I've done my job. You know what I mean? But.
And if you have it, why wouldn't you bless your mama with something? Like why wouldn't you? People are older. You know how much thinner my nerves are than when I was in my teens, when I was having my kids. Mm-hmm. You know how much thinner my nerves are.
Okay, but this is your grandbaby.
Baby,
you know what I mean?
blood. Hey.
And
my grandbaby is precious and perfect.
So
he doesn't get on my nerves.
He doesn't get on your nerves.
He's precious and perfect. But I'm just saying.
So honestly, let's just spin this question to you. You're a grandmother, you know what I mean, and your daughter comes and she says, "Hey, can you watch your grandson?" Are you going to look at 2
weeks?
No, but are you going to ask her?
But
because you're raised by the old school. So and there's a difference in parenting, you know. And my grandmother, Lord rest her soul, you know what I mean. She was like. The shit, like when it came to raising me and my sister, she was Johnny on the spot, and she never really asked for nothing, and she did it out the kindness of her heart to help raise us. You know what I mean? And while my mother was out working or whatever the case may be, my grandmother was raising and never asked for a fucking dime. You know what I mean? And I get that. You see the older big mamas. Come on over to the house, baby. You ain't got no way to say you stay here. Come on in here and get something to eat. These new mamas this day and age.
My cousin Sabrina. Hi, Sabrina. Sabrina Purdy is my cousin. Listen, we had a grandmother like that. My grandmother, Miss Margie Elaine Grant, may she rest her beautiful soul in heaven. Till I get there. But she would take us for the entire summer. I don't know what daddy was sliding her. I don't know what mama was giving her on the back end, but we ate what we wanted. We went where we wanted. My grandmother, a pile of us would be at her house. She lived 2.5 hours from us, but every summer she had to have us at her house. I didn't like to go. I really didn't like to go because she was strict, but I don't remember daddy paying her, and if he did, Daddy, did you pay her?
I mean you wouldn't see that. That part you wouldn't see.
But I don't think so. My daddy and my grandmother I think she just loved us and wanted us around because we were away, and I feel horrible because right now I'm from Michigan and I got a whole slew of nieces and nephews and even a brother and a sister that I don't even know because I don't go home that much. Yeah. And I feel bad, and honestly, we fell off from what we were raised as. My grandmother, she did raise us all. We had family reunions. We were supposed to get up, and it just ain't happening.
But you see, those days like that back in the days with the big mamas, and your grandma was like a big mama. You know what I mean? When you had those days, they were the matriarch of the family. They kept the family together. You know what I mean? And so I was having this. I think I had this conversation with my sister. You know what I mean, about matriarchs of the family, and you know, when you have them in place and you lose them, and nobody's willing to step up and keep the family together, the family dissipates and goes about their business. So now we've elected my own sister as the matriarch. Like my sister is the matriarch now, and that's a whole nother. She's the matriarch. She's big mama. You know what I mean? We have exactly. So you as the daughter, you become big mama. You know what I mean? And you got to try to tie the family and keep the family together. You know, and it is. But so it's right, like you said. Some people are parents and not parents. You just had a child, and it doesn't make you a parent. You don't know what the fuck you're doing, and there's no real guide to it. Let me not bash nobody. You come for me if you want to. It's fine, but you know, there's no guide to being a parent.
It's
you
not.
know what I mean? Either you have it or you don't. It's just what it is. It's what it is, man. I mean, you know.
Another thing too is the way, and I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
These new kids and these kids is terrible.
Yeah,
like, and honestly, at least back in our day, we were reared. We were raised. You didn't holler. You didn't scream. You didn't
Facts.
curse. These kids do whatever and it's
It's a true story. It's a true
pay
story.
me
Hold
to
on.
watch your kid.
Hold
Your
on.
kid is bad like that.
This is. We got a call. Caller, who we talking to? I got to get back to that.
Okay.
Caller, hello.
Hello, big brother.
Hey, good morning, sis. Hey, what's going on? I knew you was gonna call.
Good morning.
I
Happy
kept
New
poking
Year
the
to
bear.
both of you. I'm sorry, I was having a little technical difficulties over
As
here.
were we. It's
Okay.
okay. It's Monday.
What's on your mind, big sis?
So you know that's a very sensitive subject for us. I did not think you would have called it out, but okay. No, but seriously,
fucks given.
yeah. My brother is unfortunately speaking a lot of truth, right? And I think there was a comment made about, you should offer some type of financial assistance and let it be up to the parent to turn it down. But to that, I say, what happens when you offer that financial assistance and more, and then they want it, they take the financial assistance, but they still don't help you out,
No.
right?
Yeah.
So, like, for example, for me, I've lived in New York pretty much my entire life.
Your whole life.
I lived 15 minutes away from,
Fuck.
I lived 15 minutes away from my parents. And days when my son was sick, days when he had a half a day, days when I had to, I'm a single parent at the time. What other choices did I have but to work? And you know what it's like,
Facts.
right? You're coming from the situation of understanding that if I don't get childcare for this child, I can't go to work to give you money. I can't go to work to pay bills to take care of him.
Correct.
Yet and still, you look at me and you say, I'm too tired. I'm sick. My eyelashes hurt. My butt hurts.
I'm about
My
to break
fingernails
this
hurt.
freaking bell.
Right? Everything. You have a perpetual sickness
this
like Grandpa
fucking
Joe from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, right? Like everything is always wrong with you.
Wow.
But like as my brother said, when you get that one golden child, then all of a sudden you got money to pay bills, you offering to install utilities and all this other stuff. Now, as we know, for a lot of and I'm sure there's a lot of single mothers out there that can relate with me, a lot of single parents, not even just mothers, but single parents out there, you can relate with me, right? You love your parents and you love your family and you're trying to do as best as you can, right? You're not a slouch. You're getting up, you're going to work, you're going to school, you're doing these things all the time. So sometimes I need to rely on you to help me with childcare.
Yep.
And sometimes I'm bringing my child to you because I can't afford leaving them with someone else.
Yes.
So can you please be that big mama role? And look, times is hard, right? We've all had that. The rent is due, the car note's due, the gas is due, this is due. And you literally look at your bank account, your bank account is looking back at you like, bitch, I know you're not. Don't even, not today, okay? But still, you got to feed that child, right? You still got to keep Pampers on him, And it's in those instances, I invite people to look at that case, right? I remember those days where my mother lived in Queens, right? I'll say she lived, again, 10, 15 minutes away from me. I took my son to a babysitter 5 minutes away from her.
Facts.
I had to pay another woman.
Facts.
Right? And Anthony, you can back me up on that, right?
Facts.
I had to pay him literally 5-minute walk, a 5-minute walk away from one another.
Wow.
And I had to get up at 4 a.m. and travel, right, to get him up, to get him ready, to drop him off,
Facts.
so then I could take my 1-hour commute to work, work all day, haul ass to get home, pick him up, and then haul ass home, right? Whereas I have
They
a parent
sitting here
right there.
doing fucking nothing.
Why can't I leave my child with you at least for this time? And then I can, and I don't mind helping you out, right? Like, I don't mind giving you money. I get it that your time is done and so on and so forth. I get that. But if you see me on my grind and on my hustle and you know that this isn't going to be forever, why not offer the help? That's where I'm at. So my brother's right. I mean, he can tell you this countless times, summers. I mean, how many times his daughter begged to just spend a week with her. And it was like, nope, I sprained my toe when I was going to the bathroom last night. Can't do it.
So you have to
Can't do
understand that our rage You know what I mean? On this type of topic here.
Thank you,
know what I
Mona.
mean? Thank you, Ramona.
Thanks for
Love you,
sharing.
sis.
No problem. Love y'all.
Okay, so here's the thing. So our type of rage, our type of feelings that we have behind this is that, you know, I get it. And I get Tweety where you coming from, like, yo, you want a couple dollars. All right, cool. You know what I mean? So my sister brought another scenario in there. You offering them this. You know, my mother was a type, and I don't care if she watches it. The truth hurts. Like she used to tell us when we was kids, the truth hurts. You know what I mean? The truth will set you free. Well, here's the fucking truth. You know what I mean? Like, I moved out of New York. Right, and I moved down here. Okay, cool. I was living down here when the era was born. Okay. You know what I mean? And Ramona lived in New York when Will was born. And so she's not lying that she didn't live that far. You know, New York is very small. If you think it is, it's only a couple miles to get to here and there and there, but it's the traffic that fucks you up.
Traffic.
Okay. So all throughout my nephew's life, yeah, my mother did no. Even down to the point where, you know, you got little recitals and down to his fucking graduation. So you have these mothers like Catherine Beach, right? That, you know what I mean?
So is the wrong in expecting her to do it? Like, is the wrong in that knowing that you know who she is, or is it wrong for her to just not go ahead for the love?
So here's what it is. It's wrong for her is you're wrong on fucking levels because you think you're better than everybody else. And there's just some shit I'm gonna drop. So if your mother taught you and did it a certain way and you watch from her, how do you think you're better than that and you don't have to? Your mother, you know what I mean? Your mother, like, you know what I mean, showed you this is how you do it. And instead of doing it that way, you don't want to do it that way. You want to do it another way, and you just want to say fuck everybody. So, you know what I mean? At this, I'm not going to say f you to my mother because it's my mother. I love her, but I know that there's some discrepancies there, and there's disagreements, and you know it is what it is. You know, but you have these mothers out there like that, and you have mothers out there, and so I understand some of these mothers, like you said earlier, that yeah, can you give me a couple dollars? You know what I mean? Like, yo, I may be retired. And I'm not getting the money like I used to. Yeah. Can you float me a couple dollars to help out? I don't have a problem babysitting, but you know what I mean? Adding this extra mouth to feed puts a little strain on my budget that I have to live. Can you help me out with that? So I get it. You know what I mean? I think you should. You should at least at bare minimum kick your people some money, even though that's your people's. Kick them some money to help them out because, you know, it is right. And even though you are Big Mama, and she is Big Mama, and she's your mother or your father or whatever the case may be, you maybe should help them out with a little something. It may not be everything, but a little something, man.
If the retirement scenario is proper and appropriate, they are on a fixed income. Like if my dad is retired, my dad is 74, my dad's retired, and he has a 18-year-old son. Mm-hmm. And my dad still kicks out all this money. But if that were the scenario where my dad was on his fixed income or whatever his pension is doing, and you doing me a favor because watching somebody's child is a favor. That is the highest of all favors, to give them love and understanding. Exactly. And man, that shit is hard. And to do that, I would compensate my dad, like, and without even he didn't even probably didn't have to ask me, because I would just say, look, here, Dad, I thank you, or what you drinking, what you eating, what you, you know what I'm saying, something like that. But to have it's set in stone, like, Tony, I'm only gonna watch your baby if you give me at least half of what you was what you was giving them, because
don't do that. You know what I mean? That's the wrong. To me, that's the wrong way of going about it. You know what I mean? And putting half of what you was going to give them. I mean, you help out the best you can. You know what I mean? Now, granted, in certain situations, you're going to end up paying more than what you're paying Big Mama, because you're not going to pay those prices that you're going to pay to Big Mama or whoever the family member is. But you got to help with something. Like you said, the way you did it was right. I'm going to help you with something. You know what I mean? I ain't going, because, you know, in the same way, because it's the family discount. I want the family discount. I want that discount. I'm coming to you. It's not like I'm asking you to do this. Now, if this is a job where it's done every day, and I'm coming to you day in, day out to watch my kid, and you're watching my kid, then I'm expecting you to pay, you know what I mean, like you're paying daycare prices. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you like a 20% discount or something like that, but I'm expecting you to pay because this is an everyday thing. Now, if it's a random thing like, yo, I need you to watch my kid today. You know what I mean? Or I need you to watch the next 2 days. You know what I mean? Are you really going to look at them and be like, I'm going to need you to pay me like that? Nah, come on. It's only a day or two. Now, if it's a repetitive thing, then by all means, get it how you live. You know what I mean?
To me, when it's repetitive, the gratitude that you have should say, look what I got you.
I-
Here.
exactly.
The gratitude,
Without even thought- without even thinking-
without me saying anything. And that is when it is most appreciated for me.
Exactly.
Like my daughter had a scenario where the daycare got freaked out because a child showed up. And my baby just had COVID. Oh, he over it now.
Yeah.
But where someone at the daycare showed up and that baby was exposed to coronavirus, and they had to shut it down. The lady ended up saying like, yo, I'm gonna get rid of this whole infant program because they can't wear masks, and I'm not gonna be responsible for it spreading throughout here because blah blah blah. At the time, kids couldn't even get it. At the time, kids
Exactly.
weren't getting it.
Yeah.
Now children are getting it. My baby is 7 months and he just got over it. Like he just got a negative test yesterday from a positive test last week. So she shut it down and she said, Mommy, and let me say this, this is full transparency. When she was pregnant, she said to me, I'm going to need you to help me with this. I'm going to need you to, for the first 6 months of life, she said it, for the first 6 months of life, I've never had a kid. I'm scared to have someone outside of my home watch my baby. Can you help me? And I told her I'll help her with what I can because everyone who knows me know that I work night shift and I have a day shift job. So I told her, I said, whatever I can slide in there, I will. But I said, however, I'm going to need you and your husband to come together and find some type of plan. I'll have to honestly be plan B. I said, because one thing that Brittany is blessed with is Brittany is blessed with a great grandmother. She is blessed with a grandmother, a great grandfather, and she's blessed with a godmother, and she's blessed with me. So these people are all the way around. I said, oh, and then her husband's parents are still living. So I said, we're going to have to all just do a little something. Yeah. So when the time comes, fast forward, when the daycare shut down, she said to me, I need you. I said, no problem. Because I had time. It was ahead of, I had time to work my little clients out. And I said, look, I would do it for you Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but Thursday and Friday, you kind of better be on your own. And what allowed that to happen was the pandemic. Allowed me to flex around with my salon schedule some where I could do that. So I kept the baby for those 2 weeks. Nomi kind of helped out on a Friday. My other daughter was off on these days, so it worked out. It worked out. But I told her long term, you have to think ahead. That's why I was asking Ramona, is the bad in expecting it, especially knowing what you're dealing with.
Okay.
Is that?
Are we talking about current times because of COVID and all that stuff, or are we just talking about
just period? You expect me to keep your kid?
Like, you can't expect me to. Oh.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's
now, see, I catch you what you're saying. You can't expect me to do shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can expect me to stay black and die. That's what you can expect from me. But you can't expect me to just be like, yo, you better get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? You better confer with me first. And I'm going to, before I say yes, I'm going to have some things to say. Like, yo, what are you doing? Like, yo, like, I heard you say, you know what I mean? They looked at you and said, your daughter came to you and said, yo, Mom, I'm going to need you to help me out. Well, first off, let's change that wording because you're not going to need me to do shit. You know what I mean? I will help you out. But what are you doing? Like you said, what are you doing to plan for this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, was this conversation before the baby came or was this?
Before.
Okay,
yeah.
so pause. So now I have a whole issue here because if it was before the baby came, before you come to me, you should have been checking other avenues. And have other plan, like you said, other things lined up. And I am a plan to the plan in case shit fall through. Now you come to me and be like, yo, I'm a little tight bond. I got this going on. I got this set up, but it's not flowing right now. It's going to come through. Can you hold me down for a minute until I get there? Then
and I was glad she did it because I kept telling her, I said, well, listen, I said, these are the things that people neglect when you fucking, excuse my French, and you there's fun in making the kid, but once that starts to happen, the real decisions have to start. And I kept saying, start talking about it now, because I'm gonna tell you one thing that Brittany was used to. Brittany was used to my mother, who was a big mama. You know why? I was 16 when I had her, and I was living under my mom's roof.
So
when my second kid came, I was 20. I was living under my mom's roof. Mm-hmm. So my mother was always there. My mother loved my children so much. She really did. She loved them so much and dearly that she was glued to them. Mm-hmm. And I think Brittany kind of felt like, oh, Granny was here. Granny would do that. I said, Granny's a granny.
Yeah. I'm
a tutu.
There's a difference. Man, I get it. So
and she had it like that.
My own flesh and blood grandkids, I don't have none. And do not make me a grandfather no time soon. You know what I mean? I'm not ready to be a grandfather no time soon. But if that time came, and when the time does come and those are my grandkids, I'm going to want to spend time with them. I'm going to want to be like, yo, and I may say now, like, yo, I may be retired by then and be like, you know what? I'm living here, man, let them come down for 2 weeks and hang out with us for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Am I going to expect something? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, you know, it is
Listen,
what it is.
if they eat me out of house and home,
then fuck you paying.
Bring them what they eat. Like, just to me, let that be off me. I'll cook it. I'll do whatever you want. And I'll have food here. But if they got a thing that they like, you know, and that's
You have
their
to supply
shit,
that.
please supply that. Just do that. Like, other than that, I think I'm Gucci. Like, my grandson can get anything.
Tweeta and my sister are having a back and forth. And so Tweeta started and was like, believe me, I understand, but sometimes it's a way of teaching tough love.
Okay.
By saying, I'm not doing it.
Mona
you know what I mean?
said.
And you had them you had them figure it out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Do I agree? No, but I get it. And so to answer that, as I wanted to touch on that, and I get that. I get the tough love. And I do. Sometimes it needs to be tough love. And they take the attitude as, well, you laid down and created this person. This is your responsibility. It's not my responsibility.
Can I pause you? Because some people, older people, generation people do that so you don't have a second one. Come on.
But that's not going to stop you from fucking. It's not going to stop you from fucking. But on the same token, it makes it harder. And you know what I mean? And to me, that's I get the tough love. You know what I mean? But on the same token, were you put in that? Was your mother put in that scenario? I mean, I can understand if your mama was put in that scenario by her mama. You know what I mean? And put her in that scenario, then you know what I mean? That's going to trickle downhill. That's the type of thought process you're going to have. You know what I mean? And I get it. So my question to Tweeta is, did your mom, when your mom had you, was she in that type of same situation that, you know what I mean? It's like her mom, like your big mama was like, well, that's your responsibility. That's your problem. You went out and laid down and had him. You know what I mean? Da-da-da-da. And then I can understand. So, I mean, I get it I see it from both sides, you know, but I don't know. It's a reach. You know what I mean?
If you came up under Shawty, would it be a surprise if that's how she was acting? Like, you see her every day. Like, she raised you. You understood. Like, is there a surprise? Like, and then okay, and in the case of you and Mona, do you then sit down and be like, Ma, like, or do you just be like, man, fuck it, that's how she is, I ain't gonna trip? Do you try to help her to see your side, Mona? Did you ever do that and be like,
are you kidding? She doesn't even have to answer that. I'll answer that. You know what I mean? No, Catherine ain't gonna see your side. Catherine is not gonna see your fucking side. Catherine has, you know, and I'm not making this up. If Catherine has on blue blockers and she sees the shit this way, you know what I mean? You are the child. You're supposed to kiss her ass, but that's a whole nother ball game. Okay. You know what I mean? No matter how much you try to explain it to her, nah, it's not. She's not gonna hear it, and then you become the mortal enemy and all this other shit. She's that type of fucking person.
Is her mom still alive?
No, my grandmother, Lord rest her soul. Grandma died when Grandma was 96 or 98.
Oh, so Miss Catherine gonna be around a long time.
Oh God. You know what I mean?
Bless her heart.
But my grandmother was like, yo, like when we were kids, when me and my sister grew up, you know what I mean? She was there. She took care of us. She raised us. She walked us to school. She helped her with her homework. She fed us. She did everything. You know what I mean? Like, yo, she tried to show us a culture instead of, you know, most go out on the block and go play with your friends. Mm-hmm. No, nigga, we're gonna get on this bus and we're gonna get on this train and we're gonna go down there and go to this museum. We're gonna go to this, and we're gonna go. And she tried to culture us as kids, like taking us to Broadway plays and changing our views of just being in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? And all of that stopped when my mother decided to move out and move on her own, and now me and my sister just sitting there looking at each other.
And y'all got used to all this stuff.
But on the same token, when it came time for Grandma, Grandma would take care of us. You know what I mean? And she would culture us, and like you said, you know, she raised us like we're her own and take care of us. But she let it be known, these your kids, but these my grandbabies. I got them too.
So here's a question. You can answer it if you don't. Ramona can answer this too if you don't want to. So who did you become? Did you become Big Mama or did you become Catherine? Or a mixture of both?
I think it's a mixture of both. Me more so because, you know, you become the product that you were raised in.
Correct.
So for me, I mean, I'm more so like I have more Catherine ways with me, but now it's changing because, you know, I'm working on me. Ramona, she had Big Mama ways. She had Grandmama ways, you know what I mean? And so she had the Aunt Marilyn's, my Lord rest her soul, that she just passed away at the end of the year. You know what I mean? She had those people to mentor her and be there for her and show her. So it worked out good. So that's why I looked at you now now Ramona is Big Mama. She's Big Mama. All of us, all the siblings, we go to her. We don't go to my mother. No, fuck that. We go to Ramona. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. So it depends on what you were raised as. And for me, it was that way for a while. And I was raising my kids the way my mother was. And then I realized, yo, that shit is fucked up. This shit is wrong. Something's wrong with it. It's not right. It's wrong. And then I changed it. And then I changed how doing that. You know what I mean? And so now Ramona, you're right. She is very different than my mother. My mother, if you know Catherine, you'd be like, the fuck, you damn Gemini. You raggedy ass Gemini. I hate Geminis. I do. They are some fucked up ass people. You know what I mean?
You ever been around the Aries? Like,
I mean,
I am my daddy. My daddy a whole Aries show. I look, Clyde, I love you, but jeez.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's tough, and so you know, when you look at that, and so I know some of the teaching is passed from generation. Good point. It is. You're right. You know, but we don't have that. You don't have that anymore. And these days now, these times now, you know, you're looking at everybody wants to make a buck. And you have to look at some of these mothers that had kids when they were like 15, like your age, and they didn't have the support system that you had. You feel me? They didn't have that. So now, when it came down to it, it's like, yo, I had to figure out how to do it. You got to figure out how to do it. It's fucked up.
Here's the B side to that too,
What's
because
that?
some parents already understand the strength of their child, so they don't have to be all that because they know that you are who they couldn't be. Mm-hmm. You understand? Like you say, Ramona is like a big mama, and for real, your mom might know that. Look, she got it. Shorty's strong. Shorty is, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes that's what it is. Like they know you're good. My mother knew my kid was going to be good, but my mother knew.
Once again, you have to classify it to how your mother is. You know what I mean? Or how that parent is. And, and everybody's mother's different. You know what I mean? Like, yo, we just had, our mother is unique. That's a classy way of putting it. She's unique. You know what I mean? And that's the best way to put it for her. You know what I mean? Because, you can't find a classification to put this woman under. No. You know what I mean? Now, as for, let me ask powder cocaine over here. Powder cocaine comes from a good family structure. You know what I mean? Powder cocaine, how was your big mama? Was your big mama like your grandparents? Like, no, seriously, I just want to know because
look at his face though.
I'm curious to know what how was it for his? Was his grandparents loving, and did they come in and take and help raise you guys, or how did that work for you?
No.
Damn. Oh, okay.
No.
Did you have maternal and paternal?
My mom's parents died before I was born, and my dad's parents they were divorced as far as I remember, and I think there was like maybe one or two times my grandmother, my dad's mom, babysit us. Over at her place.
Did you ever have like Thanksgiving dinner over there?
No,
Christmas dinner?
No, they
like
had health issues, and
okay.
So really, it was more going over to my cousins and stuff, places and things like that. So, we had that big mama person, but we go. We do go to their house from time to time. And then when she passed, pretty much there was a transition, transition of power. But overall, I kind of agree where you say, things, I think due to current way of life, kind of inflicted all this, separations and things like that, because life happens. Not everything in a weird way. It was like, I wouldn't say things were easy back in the 70s or 80s, but things were more comfortable enough to where you can constantly go to your big mama house on every weekend, or so to speak. Now it's like, shit, the boss. I recently heard, while I was waiting to fix some things around here, someone had to adjust their hours just to get some time off. So the things like these things of that scenario in this day and age, it's difficult. You know, you can't, I mean, mind you, you have to try to fight to get some time off, which is
And
kind of
just-
unfortunate.
I know, that's right.
And then everything is so expensive now. It's like it was different where you could just work one job. Like I'm not gonna hold you. My sister's mother worked at a grocery store. Our whole childhood, she was a cashier. She had a house. She bought a house. She did this. She did that. She worked her 8 hours and came home. That is unheard of right now.
Nah, you can't do that no
You
more.
can't do that now. Not with, and you know what? And she wasn't married at the time. She's married now, of course. But that was later. Like, when she didn't have a partner to give her
To help her with it.
Yeah, she had 4 kids. She had 4 kids.
But see, that was different because that was back in the days where you get $1 and you thought you was doing the shit. Like, I would run to the store with $1 and come back with a bag full of shit. Now you're not doing it.
No, so to me, for now, when you have these children, which is why I tell my kids all the time, please be mindful when you start having these kids and
Facts.
understand the economy, understand your situation, understand where you want to be in life. Because Brittany was doing all this social climbing. I mean, career climbing, and I said, that's gonna stop once the baby get here.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna be able to be this. What you need, if you are somewhere, something's gonna suffer. Somewhere, something.
So here's a prime example. And I hate to relate this to you. Watch the TV show The Game.
Yeah.
It's back on TV now, and it's got a new season. Right, it's a new season. I see the direction that they're going with the show. It's kind of cool.
I like it.
Now you look at Tasha Mack, and Tasha Mack is this big baller, but she has a daughter. And how much time are you really spending with the
How
child?
much
The child is
time?
deprived. And now when something wrong goes on, you want to come in and beat on your chest, but you're not there to be a mother. And so some of these young people are thinking, they're not thinking they're out here, they're fucking. You know what I mean? And oh shit, I'm fucking pregnant. I'm having this baby, and you know what I mean? They have no idea, nor are they ready. They don't understand what comes with being a parent and being it. And we don't. You know,
You got to work, bro. Look, I have 2 jobs. Look, I do. People keep asking me, like, what are you trying to buy? Like, why are you working so goddamn much? And honestly, I'm just trying to get ahead. I'm trying to stay ahead of the curve because, right now, Maryland does not have the Affordable Housing Act. And these places that you live, it's the you can go in Landover and buy $1 million. What? What? What?
And it's becoming the norm. It's the norm.
And
It's
for
the norm.
real, like, there's no more $200,000 homes. There's no more
Where?
$300,000.
If you're gonna find a 200,000, you're gonna
it's a
go.
condo.
You gotta go. It's a condo, but you're gonna have to go out west and go in the middle of fucking nowhere land, or go down in the country.
Well,
and
the
you can
cost
find
of living is
it's
still lower,
so
and
much lower,
and
you know what I mean?
still the same struggle.
It's-
I might pay less to live here, but I gotta work more because
you're not making that money to live there. So, I mean, this is what it is. Yeah, when you look at the cost of people, like my sister lives in New York, the cost of living there is fucking ridiculous for the small space that you get. Like, this space may be almost $3,000 a month.
I
You know
love
what I mean? Like,
New Yorkers. Y'all got money, because I would have been dead.
They
pay y'all well?
They pay more there. I mean, you know what I mean? Because the
have
cost
to.
of living there is
They have
so
to.
much more. So, but it still boils down to, like you said, it doesn't matter if you live there and you're getting paid more, because it costs more to live there versus if you live out there. So it pretty much wherever you go, it balances itself out. And you're thinking, I'm gonna make more money, but I mean, you're gonna have to work a little bit more. You're gonna have to work a little more. I mean, just what it is. It's hard. Well, see now.
What did he say?
Now, T. Woods, you said California, New York, Hawaii. You need 3 incomes to be comfortable. Fuck yes. You're not lying there. You're not lying there.
I think Maryland is becoming like that. Maryland is becoming like that. Like, everything out here for real is like, you got to have a plan B. You got to have a plan B.
So I mean, and Silk said, he was like, there are no in betweens. You either rich or you're poor.
That's it. And you better find you somebody that's either or too. Because if two y'all poor, y'all poor.
Yeah. I mean, in this case, the scenario is like, I work one job. You know what I mean? Because I can't work shit else because of my skill.
You get that bread.
But you know what I mean? But to get that bread, I got to put in a lot of overtime too to make myself comfortable. You know what I mean? Because you can say that one paycheck or them 80 hours. Yeah, I can pay certain bills, but now I want to be comfortable. I want to be able to do other shit, you know what I mean, and work for other shit. So now I'm spending more time because that'd be an equivalent. My overtime is equivalent of working a second job. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter to make the good money. I mean, you still got to put in that overtime and work. You know what I mean? Or find another job. In my case, I can't. So you like you said, you're working 2 jobs.
And
you know
listen,
what I mean? And overtime on top of that.
Yes, because I was going to tell you, my job, God bless them, they understand that there's a shortage. and they're paying for that shortage. They was offering $90 an hour, like for all last week and all last weekend. Like there are people who were making
you ass raped them.
Right.
You ass raped them. Yeah, I know.
And look, and they were offering like some. I think there was a glitch in their little system at one point, and somebody got like $140 an hour. And the girl came around telling everybody, like, this got fucking wrong.
She was dumb as shit. You dumbass.
Monica Lewinsky.
You dumbass.
You showed in the trash, bitch.
Kept your mouth shut. If they fucked up and was paying me that, I'm like,
I'm gonna just.
I would have never went home. I would have just stayed.
Because they're giving us COVID pay on top of this. And look, they were offering people like, say for instance, you were clinical, right? And the shortage was because now we're in the pandemic again. We don't have the visiting hours have changed. The policies changed. They need runners. So you could come in there and get $35 an hour just to run food to motherfuckers' rooms.
Oh, wow.
Nomi was like, can I not work there and do that? Like,
really?
I work night shift. I see all these white people from HR.
Do they have flexible schedules?
I was at work and some white woman, our hospital has a sister. It's a system. So we're coupled with another bigger hospital. They bought us out, and I was at work. I was like, and these white people came on the floor, and not that we don't have Caucasians, but we don't have Caucasians at night.
Okay.
So they was walking around in they career dress, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm from HR from another hospital. Just want to know if you need me to answer some phones or something." Like they was in there getting that money.
Yeah, why not? It was money. It's available. Go get it. I mean, so I got a big question. All right, I have a question. So now we're still in a pandemic, and people, and they want us to go back to being normal, like the pandemic doesn't exist. They're cutting everything down. Yeah. They don't want to shut the country down no more. Mm-hmm. Okay? That's understandable. Okay. So, they're not giving out any more fucking money, right? Why the fuck is it that people don't want to work? What am I doing wrong? Can somebody help me understand? Because they're giving out these bonuses for you to come work, and they can't find people to work. Yes. You niggas are not getting that unemployment. Y'all not getting that money anymore. So why the fuck is it hard to find help? What the fuck is the deal?
Because
what are these people doing? Help me understand.
Immigration laws have changed.
Like I said earlier.
Okay.
People are getting sick and tired of working for somebody else based off of and getting lesser pay and more work and less pay.
Okay.
They're done with that stuff. They're done with dealing with very disgusting individuals coming in, especially when it comes to retail. People who feel like they're entitled to almost anything and everything. And we have that whole the customer's always right bullshit mentality.
The disrespect that we garner is trifling.
So honestly, the way I think is like, especially I think during these last couple of years, a lot of people feel like I want to work for me, which I give proper respect. For me, honestly, it's like I work for me. I can work for somebody else because, especially those that I feel comfortable with working, that I can do with. As for something like these corporations and, things of that nature, I think a lot of people are getting sick and tired of it because it's to the fact is like you make all this damn money and I'm still making chump change. You're right. So why in the world I need to be working with you? And it's unfortunate. It's like with some restaurants, no one wants to work in restaurants anymore. Again, same reasoning. You're dealing with crazy customers. You're dealing with possible death threats because of people robbing them, got left and right. And again, you're basing everything off of a minimum wage and hope for a big tip. No one wants to deal with that anymore. And then
you mad at me because my tip is not proper enough for you, but you should be mad at your job for giving you $2.15 an hour.
But again, you expect, man, you're coming to my establishment to feed, help provide you a service, and you give me a low end, tip. Like you said earlier about, hey, grandma can take care of my kids, and your grandma complains the fact that you're not paying. So it's just like, isn't this the same thing? It's like, wait, I gave you a good service, but you're giving me chump change. That don't make no sense.
That's funny. This is on this paper. It's Tone, did you see it? This is on this paper. Because I was asking, like, there was a person. Okay, speaking of tips, right? Do you still give a tip on top of gratuity?
No, because it's already been paid for.
Facts.
The lady said, because they were, it's on here. Am I lying?
Yeah,
it's on here. It's funny. There was a lady who went on Instagram and she posted up her tips, and the people were mad, but then people kept circling the fact that there was gratuity. And she was like, so that shit is shared between all of us that work here.
Oh, so what? You shouldn't charge me gratuity because you're forcing me to pay a tip.
Right.
So now you're expecting me to leave an additional tip?
Because you're supposed to leave an additional tip for you.
Okay, unless I feel extra generous enough for paying her, the server at the if I feel that, I feel like, hey, I will pay extra because you did outstanding service. Yeah, I'll do that. If it's warranted. Here, it's not warranted. If I feels like, hey, it's average service and it's already on gratuity, why do I need to pay extra?
But that's what the girl was saying.
Well, that's the girl.
And you know what I do? What I do, because I have a few bartender friends, and I have, I've learned that they all have to share their tips. So I just ask everybody for their Cash App. Like, if you're extraordinary, and I'll just slide in your shit.
I mean, mind you, if it's one thing if you go to that restaurant every other week or whatever, and I get the same server and all that stuff, yeah, I'll occasionally will do that. And it's like, hey, I want this person, I like her, or I like him, and I'll do extra. Yeah, if you build up that rapport, then great. Yeah, I would pay that particular person extra. But that's unless I go to that particular restaurant every other time.
That's it?
Yeah, because to me, because like I said, I'm trying not to eat out a lot. Because you get to the point where it's just like, look, again, about money, saving money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is like, I go to different restaurants because my taste buds are different.
Facts.
So I'm not going to, unless I'm, constantly, like, I'm not 75 and keep going to the same, Red Lobster every week. I mean, come on. No. And especially if I'm going to get a different server every time.
Can we talk about the elephant in the room? I'm bringing this up. And we go to these restaurants and you get charged gratuity and you get a motherfucking waitress or a waiter that you can't even find half the motherfucking time and the service is trash. And then you have nerve on top of that to fuck around and ask me for an additional tip. That tip is fucking fire yourself, bitch, because this shit is trash. I'm not going to pay you. Now, if I have a fucking server that's going to come on there and be Johnny on the spot, I'm sitting at this table, and nigga, you on it, and it's like, yo, we just clicking here. I may throw you a couple extra dollars. I may do that because your service was just so fucking good. But if you got shitty service, how dare you ask me for anything else?
Here's a story. I hope I got time to tell this story really quickly.
Come on.
Check this out. We go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Okay.
Me and my club, so it's all seven of us. Plus, we got friends who got birthdays. So I don't know if you've been to Buffalo Wild. They have an outside section.
Yeah.
We had the whole back.
Okay.
So it probably was about 15 to 20 of us. We had this little young joint. To me, when I came in, she seemed to be on her stuff. She came over right away. Like, I had no issue with her, right?
Okay.
Until it was time to pay the bill. So my homeboy was throwing shots around, like he was throwing money out here. Oh, blah, blah, blah. If a football game was on, Jacksonville was winning at this time. He was the only Jacksonville fan, so he was throwing money around, buying shots. When it came time for her to get the bill, of course, people are funny. I'm funny because if I go out with Tone, I know Tone really seems to always be in the bathroom. When the bill come, I will always, and I like fucking with Tone. You know what I'm saying? I like drinking with him. I like to eat with him, but he a shitty nigga. So I would ask up front, could you separate me? I got us three right here. I always ask that, right? So I think that wasn't asked. So when the tip, the whole thing came, we paid it, but there was probably her tip. She wasn't happy with her tip.
Okay.
She wasn't happy with her tip, and then for
what y'all tip her, like $40?
She probably was like $40, like cause then she got cute. She started getting cute and started getting gone. So the dude who was throwing all the money around was like, "Yo, I can't even find Shorty." We had to go inside and ask for her, like, "Hey, can we be ready to cash out?" Da da da. Now I had already set my shit up. I'd already set it up, and Nomi is very cute because Nomi started bringing her card so we can separate that shit so you don't get over on me. Tone gonna pay his part.
Yeah.
This bitch was like, "Oh nah." She came back there and said, "Excuse me," between me and Nomi and me and Summer, and sat down and was like, "Nah, I ain't taking this tip from y'all. Y'all got to come better than this." And look, in her uniform. So look, Tone. Here go me. Cause I'm ready. Summer was like, what the fuck you say? She's like, you. She said, and she looked at her thing. She's like, and you only gave me $10. She walked over there and told Summer, we will fight in this motherfucker before I let you leave me the tip that y'all left me. She was so serious. And she sat here. I said, T-Mac got up. Of course, T-Mac is the one. She said, come here, sweetheart. We double down. We gonna beat your motherfucking ass in here. Like,
I can hear T-Mac saying that shit too.
Sweetheart, take your tip and go on about your business. And I looked at the tip. She got $100, but she felt like because it was 20 of us or whatever, she needed to have 200. When I looked at it, it was a sufficient tip for the service that she gave. What's that Buffalo Wild Wings? I had, and I'm gonna tell you what I had because I don't even eat out like that. And you know me, it takes me forever. Tone, I had salt and vinegar fries.
That's it.
And I still gave Shorty $15 only because it was a group thing and we was all having a good time. And for real, you know when you drunk and you drinking and you watching the game and all that shit, we can be a little rambunctious and it could be headache laden when I got to keep coming over to table 20. This bitch said no. She sat there with her legs crossed and was like, oh nah, y'all got to come better than this.
My first response is, what the fuck is you doing?
Summer,
no. You don't want that? You unhappy with your tip? Bitch, you don't get nothing. See, furthermore, I got
Summer from New York.
Hold on. I got fucked up thinking. Because it gets to a certain point. If I got to sit there and try to hunt you down to pay my fucking tab, well, I guess you don't want my money. And the meal's on you. So, don't fuck with me because I'm the type of nigga that will dine and dash. If you don't want to come get your money, I'm going to fucking leave you with the fucking bill to pay.
But wait a minute. Here's the kill part. After we had to get the manager, our fucking bill was free. Our fucking meal was free because the girl had she
that's how you do. That's how you do. So didn't we get some free shit? Hold on. So we're at Black Tigers, and we go to dinner after the we go to dinner. You know what I mean? And we sitting there, and some shit wasn't right. But we got the shit free and cut the bill down. You know what I mean? Like,
your shit wasn't right. Your shit wasn't right.
My shit wasn't right, but everybody was like, you off. So what was it? What was it? The crab dip. Was it the crab dip or something like that?
You asked
and it was
extra,
pretty good.
Yeah. And she gave you a cup
this little fucking cup. And it was disrespectful, but the point is, they turned around and that she, I don't even think.
She didn't charge you for the shit. You were just like, no, we didn't.
We didn't even tip her. You know what I mean?
She was like, she was off some other shit. Like, we were the only black people in the restaurant. Let's be clear. And we were in wherever.
It was the green turtle. It was the green turtle up in Black Tigers. What's that? What is that? I don't know what the fuck it is.
I forgot the name of that area.
I don't know if I want to say that name. If that's the name, I'm thinking of Cockeysville or whatever. Somewhere up there, whatever the fuck it is, up that area. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so the service was crap, and we ended up getting some shit free. Hunt Valley. And it was fucked up. It was fucked up.
And that white lady, that Caucasian person.
There you can't say white people.
I can't say white people, sorry. The Caucasian lady was very nice at first, but then she realized we like the only black people. So then she ended up being extremely gone and missing and unavailable to us, and she was chilling. So Tom was like, no, this chick, it's gonna have to reflect in her situation.
Yeah.
And you hate to do that to people because we do understand you make $3 an hour, but you have to understand that too.
Yeah.
And come with it.
And I understand if you get out there and you want extra tip, man. I'm expecting you to earn that shit, man. It's not a given. You know what I mean? A tip is not a given thing. You have to earn that shit. I mean, if you get certain. So for me, we're gonna start off here with a big tip because I know what I'm about to order. I know what we're about to eat. I'm gonna start here with a big tip. And as you start fucking up, your tip is doing this.
Do you still give the 20% though? Do you start that above the 20%?
Yes.
And then the 20% is the lowest.
I work my way. No. Well, 20%. No.
The 20% is the.
It's 15, maybe. Sometimes 10, maybe. And if you're really fucked up, you may get 2.
What is it?
So, I mean, it depends on. Yeah, you got 3 minutes.
We got 3 minutes?
3 minutes.
Okay.
So, it depends on your fucking service. It depends. It really does. It depends on your service and how you are versus what I'm going to tip you. You know what I mean? Even though, and it makes it hard because gratuity is already added in there, so you gotta have a tip. And especially if I see a busy restaurant and your service was shitty, you might get $5.
But listen, and then if you see a busy restaurant, you then have to slide off of some of your expectations because it is busy. Like, do you do that? Be like, you still expect the nigga to be like top notch and still Johnny on the spot? Well, like, do you adjust your expectations?
I've been in restaurants where it has been busy. You know what I mean? And I see the person putting forth effort.
Okay.
And that's what I'm looking for. You're putting forth effort, and I know you got this table, that table, this table, and I'm watching how you moving with the tables. What I'm not going to do is sit there and see that these are the tables you got, and you nowhere to be fucking found. And we're all sitting there looking at each other like, what the fuck, man? I need more water. I need this. I need that. And nigga, now I'm not gonna tip you. Now, if you putting forth that effort, you know what I mean? I'm gonna tip you a little.
I'm trying to keep up.
Tip you a little something.
And 20%, you said no.
Depends on your service. It depends on your service if I'm going to do that or not.
Because 20% sometimes is like $4. People be looking at you. That's all you giving. Like they need you to give.
So here's what I do, and here's what I do. When it comes to that, I'll pay the bill and look at my wife and be like, "Yo, go ahead and figure out what the tip is." And she'll get out her little
calculator, yeah.
and do all that and calculate the tip and depending on the service and tip them that way. You know what I mean? Now there's times
again, even when I do that, like it still looks terrible. Like you getting up from the table after fries and you leave $2 on the table. They look like this bitch. That's all I had though. I'm doing what they said to. We gotta wrap
here's
up.
the thing. Something's better than nothing. It is what it is. All right.
I ain't cheap. It's just I'm not gonna pay $10 for fries. Fuck that.
Nah. So next week we in the studio. It's Martin Luther King's birthday next week, right? Unfortunately, believe me, I won't be here. I'm sorry, y'all. You know what I mean? Being this, I got drafted to work, so I got to be at work. But hey,
I'll be coming off a proc, so
I'll be at proc. It's this Thursday. I mean, you know what I mean? I look. So for us that are going to the proc, yes. I want y'all to get there safe. Please wear your mask and be safe down there. There are going to be individuals that are not going to give a fuck and still want to show up because they want to party and they may be sick. Protect yourself. You know what I mean? Please, by all means, protect yourself while you're there the best way you can.
And come party with me. It's my birthday. I'm partying. We're partying for my birthday.
We're partying. Now the question is, it's supposed to fucking snow and shit this weekend.
Yeah, it is.
Here.
It is. It's all good.
Ricky, we're gonna talk.
Because I'm driving. I
don't know. We would ride, and my thing is, and my ride back. I'm not going to push through no fucking snow.
No, I'm not riding. I'm not riding.
So I'm going to talk about it. All right, you know what I
mean? Beautiful Monday back. Thank y'all.
Yep.
See y'all next week. I will.
Peace. She will see you next week. I'm going to try to call in. I might do it. I might freak it another way. You know, white man, I might be remote and do it. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
I
love it.
All right, man.
Love
it's Real Talk
Be
Uncensored,
safe.
man. See y'all.
Bye.
Peace.